Hello my friends, welcome back to English class. I'm your English teacher, Elnura. I hope you are doing well. We have already learned the comparative form of adjectives, which means that today's subject, superlatives. Let's understand what are superlative adjectives. Superlative adjectives are words used to compare the difference between three or more things. For example, as you can see, there are three squares. The first of them is big, the second one is bigger, and the last one is the biggest square. We have to change the adjective to the superlative form in order to make the superlative adjective. To make a superlative adjective word, you must change the adjective to the superlative form. For example, we have the adjective small. The comparative form of this adjective is smaller, and the superlative form of the adjective is the smallest. So it is the superlative form of the adjective. As you have already learned, we have to change the adjective to the superlative form. But how? Let's learn together. There are rules that we must follow to make superlative adjectives. The first rule says that with regular one-syllable adjectives, we add est to make the superlative form. For example, fast, faster, and the superlative form is the fastest. Let's learn the second rule, which states that with regular one- and two-syllable adjectives that end in y, we remove the y and add iest to make the superlative form. Let me show you an example. Happy, happier. As you can see, this adjective ends in y, and the comparative form of this adjective is happier, but the superlative form is the happiest. With adjectives that end with a single vowel followed by a single consonant, the consonant is doubled and est is added. It was the third rule of making superlative adjective. Let's see the example. For example, the adjective big. A single vowel is followed by a single consonant, but here we have to double the consonant to make superlative or comparative form of the adjective. So we have big, bigger, and the superlative form is the biggest. And the last rule is with two-syllable adjectives that don't end in y and all three-syllable adjectives, we add the most before the adjective. For example, here are three syllables in this adjective. So the comparative form of the adjective beautiful is more beautiful, but the superlative form is the most beautiful. However, there are some exceptions, and they are irregular superlative adjectives. As you know, there are 4 rules for making superlative adjectives, but irregular adjectives don't follow these rules, so you must memorize them. Let me show you. Good, better, the best. Bad, worse, the worst. Far, further, the furthest. Well, better, the best. Much, more, the most. Many, more, the most. You must be wondering why each time the is written here. It's because you must always use the definite article the in front of the superlative form. This is because there can only be one superlative. Now it's time to practice what we have learned. Let me show you an example first. Here, you have to make the superlative form of each adjective, but let me show you an example first. The word fast, its comparative form is faster, and the superlative form is the fastest. Try to think about slow. What can be the superlative form of slow? Yeah, you're right. It's the slowest. What about the second one? Strong, stronger, and the superlative form of this adjective is? It's the strongest. Big, bigger, the biggest. Happy, happier, and the superlative form of the adjective happy is the happiest. Cold, colder. You're right, it's the coldest. What about the adjective hot? Hot, hotter, and the superlative form of the adjective is the hottest. Great job. What about the second one? Cheap, cheaper. The cheapest. You are right, my friends. Do you remember the rule? What should we do when we have more than 2 syllable adjectives? Well, here's an example. Boring, its comparative form is more boring, and its superlative form is the most boring. What about this adjective? Handsome, more handsome, and the superlative form is, yeah, you're quite right, it's the most handsome. The third word is expensive, more expensive, and the superlative form is the most expensive. What about this adjective? Interesting. It has comparative form. It is more interesting, and the superlative form is the most interesting. You made a great job, my friends. You did an awesome job, my friends. Congratulations. Well, friends, now we are going to watch a video to review the topic and to understand the way of making superlative adjective. Let's go.
This is the Burj Khalifa. No building is taller than the Burj Khalifa. The Burj Khalifa is the tallest building. No mouse is cuter than this mouse. This is the cutest mouse. No ninja is better than Ichiro. Ichiro is the best ninja. No man in the whole wide world is lazier than Donnie. Donnie is the laziest man in the whole wide world.
Quack, 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 quack.
No chef is worse than Peter. Peter is the worst chef.
Now it's time to practice what we have learned. I'm going to show you adjectives describing a few things. I'd like you to write a sentence using the superlative form of the adjective. You will have enough time to do it on your own. Then we'll check all together, so that you will be able to correct your sentences if you made a mistake. Let's go. But let me show you an example first. As you can see, here's the given adjective is beautiful. Our task is to change this adjective to the superlative form. For example, the zebra is the most beautiful animal in the world. Well, there is another sentence. You have to change the adjective big to the superlative form. Let's check. The blue whale is the biggest animal in the world. What do you think about this sentence? The fox is one of the cleverest animals in the world. Polar bears live in one of the coldest areas in the world. The chameleon is the most colorful reptile in the world. Well, children, what is the superlative form of the adjective cute? Of course, it is the cutest. The squirrel is the cutest wild animal. Let's check. The cobra is the most dangerous snake in the world. Do it on your own first, then we'll check. The cheetah is the fastest animal on earth. What about the superlative form of the adjective fat? The hippo is one of the fattest land animals. The lion is the fiercest animal in the savannah. The duck is one of the friendliest domestic animals. What about the superlative form of the adjective furry? Yeah, my friends, you're right. It's the furriest. The sea otter is the furriest animal in the ocean. Let's check. The crocodile is the heaviest reptile in the world. Could you make the superlative form of the adjective hot? Think about the superlative form of the adjective hungry. Pandas are one of the hungriest animals in the world. Do you remember how to make the superlative form of two-syllable adjectives? Well, Ants are the most intelligent insects in the world. Think about the superlative form of the adjective lazy. The sloth is the laziest animal in the world. You should know the superlative form of the adjective light. The bat is one of the lightest mammals in the world. Try to think about the superlative form of the adjective playful. Let's check if you have finished. Dolphins are one of the most playful animals in the world. The goldfish is the animal with the shortest memory. Elephants are the strongest land animals. Well, complete the sentence by yourself, then we'll check. The giraffe is the tallest land animal. The quokka is the happiest animal in the world. You made a great job, my cleverest friends. So now you are able to compare whatever you want and distinguish the superlative. See you next time. Have a nice day.